Welcome to this week's episode of Real English Real Quick. My name is Mitchell.
And my name's Joey. I'm a teacher here at Wall Street English in Moscow.
Great. Well, Joey, thank you for coming on to this week's episode. And by the way, BTW, I have read that book you gave me.
Really? Were you surprised when Snape killed Dumbledore?
What? Snape kills it. Why would you tell me this? Why would you tell me? You ruined it. You ruined it.
This spoiler could have been avoided if we used the correct grammar. Let's try that one more time.
Joey, by the way, I have been reading that book you gave me.
What do you think about it?
Oh, Snape, I just don't like him. I wish just somebody would just kill him,
He's pretty terrible. Just wait and see.
Okay, well, when I finish, I will let you know.
All right, please do.
Okay, great. Well, that is the two example questions, scenarios that we are looking at in this week's episode. The question comes from Marina, and her question is, Mitchell, can you please help me with the difference between present perfect and present perfect continuous? So, Joey, let's help Marina and all her friends out, and all the students, with this kind of struggling tense, present perfect, and the continuous aspect.
Okay, well, let's first focus on present perfect simple. So we use this to describe an action that took place in the past and we're not really sure when. For example, I've washed my hair today. Have you washed your hair today?
Yes, I have washed my hair today. As you can see.
Looks pretty good.
Your hair looks pretty good too.
Oh, thanks, I tried.
Great. Another question, have you worked in America?
Yes, I have. Have you worked in America?
Yes, I have worked in America.
What about Moscow?
Moscow, yes, I have worked in Moscow. Great. So, but can I say, I washed my hair today?
You can't.
Why?
And the reason for that is today is not finished, right? Maybe you can give me a time that is finished.
So for example, yesterday. So I washed my hair yesterday.
Exactly. In that case, past simple would be good, but for today it's not finished. We should use present perfect. I have washed my hair.
Great. So with times that we're talking about that are unfinished, we use present perfect, right? Aspect. So how do we create present perfect?
So it's pretty easy. We take the word have, and then we use the third form of the verb. For example, I have taken, I have washed, I have gone.
Great, good. Okay, so how about this? The question that we normally get from our students often is about, for example, living in Moscow. Okay,
Exactly.
So do we say I have lived in Moscow or I have been living in Moscow?
Well, those are two very different answers to this question. I need to ask you, are you still living in Moscow, or is this something that happened in the past?
Okay, so I am still living in Moscow.
In that case, we should use present perfect continuous, because it's still happening, right? So, how long have you been living in Moscow?
I have been living in Moscow for 2 years.
All right, and have you lived in the U.S.?
I have lived in the U.S.
And how long have you lived in the U.S.?
I lived in the U.S. for 20 years.
Exactly, so we can see in the US, it's a time that's finished. We use present perfect. In Moscow, it's not finished. Present perfect continuous.
Okay.
So, for 2 years.
For 2 years.
Can you give me an example with since?
Okay, yes, I can. I have lived in Moscow since 2013.
All right, so what's the difference between for and since?
Great, so I think with for, we use a duration of time, and since is a
specific time.
Specific point in time.
Exactly.
Great. And how do we create the present perfect continuous?
Present perfect continuous, it's almost the same. We just take have, and then been, and then
ing.
verb plus ing.
Great.
Like I have been living.
I have
been studying.
I have been learning. I have been washing. We have been talking for too long. I think now it is time to ask some students some questions using present perfect and present perfect continuous, and let's see if they understand.
All right, sounds good. Let's do it.
What have you done today?
I have done my multimedia.
I have been working at Wall Street for 2 years.
Today I have gone to work.
I have used Subway today, and I have had a cup of coffee.
I've been working in Russia for 4.5 years, quite a long time.
All right, well, Joey, thank you for coming on to this week's episode.
Oh, no problem.
All right, hope you had fun.
I did.
All right, great. Marina, we hope we have answered your question. Present perfect, we have answered. Oh man, see, we use present perfect all the time. So if you struggle with it, ask for help. Learn the third forms of verbs, especially those irregular verbs. There's a lot of them. And we use present perfect in English every day, no questions asked. It's very, very important. So if you have any questions with grammar, vocabulary, anything regarding English, feel free to email us at community@wsirussia.ru, and we will see you in our next episode. Bye.
Bye-bye.